Episode 126. Hildibrand Manderville and Nashu Makaraka with Komoi Moriko in The Immaculate Deception. That's the name of the quest. How's it going, Humphrey? Hi, I'm Humphrey, and you are? At last I've caught up with you. You there, young sir. I am told you are a victim of the marauding duelist. Me? A victim? How amusing. You amuse me. True, I was challenged by the duelist not long ago, but where he thought to find a whelp. He found a warrior of light instead. I've defended my honor and my blade. See for yourself. You mean you won? That's amazing. Oh, well, it was nothing compared to what I faced at Cartano. Magitech to the right of us, Magitech to the left of us. Stuck in the middle with Master Lu, we were. Core, he was a dab hand with the old magic, he was. I tried to save him, of course, but there's a limit to how many giant beasties a man can... That man is no warrior of light. Tell them, Eleazar. Tell them how he lost and surrendered a sword that was not his own. Liar. Scoundrel. I trusted that bastard with me father's blade. Bid him take it to a smithy for restoration. Even gave him gil to pay for it. Then he comes crawling back, sniveling and begging for forgiveness, for losing it in a duel. As if that's enough to set things right. Look at me, you bleeding whoreson. Look at me. My flowing golden locks are no more. I've gone bald from the stress and heartbreak. I swear to everything holy that you'll face a reckoning if you don't bring her back to me. You can rock the bald look. Maybe. Probably. Alright. He beat the shite out of me and took the old man's sword. I used the gil to pay the chirurgeon. Shurden? Still don't know. Let's just say Kairutin. I have no idea where he is. Where he or the sword is. What am I supposed to do, huh? I can't give him what I don't have. Unless you want to help me find the sword. That's what you do, right? Help people? Have you no shame? First you claim a legacy not your own, then you beg others to help you with problems of your own making. You will refuse this man, won't you, Inspector? And what of Eleazar's flowing golden locks? How will forsaking young Humphrey help the man he has wronged? We shall begin our search for the sword by questioning the people of the Golden Bazaar. Do all inspectors dress like that? I've never met one before, so I don't know what to expect. That blade was a rare and ancient relic. You can't possibly think he'll recover it so easily. Well, Komoi's just here to watch, but I guess she's helping out a little bit. There's Nashu. And that guy. Actually, I didn't go back and check, with my footage, when this guy might have started appearing. Was it that first time that I actually voiced out that I noticed him back in Ul'dah? Was it a little bit earlier, maybe even in the graveyard, first time we saw Nashu? I'm sure there's somewhere where all of his sightings were listed. Antique swords. Oh, I haven't the foggiest about that. The traveling merchant Jojompa is the one you ought to speak with, assuming he hasn't left. Nashu, don't fall asleep, please. We've only just started. Yet what drives this man to always claim his opponent's weapon? Pride? No, it must be deeper than that. That boy should be ashamed of himself, robbing poor Eleazar of a priceless family heirloom. Just goes to show that you should never trust an adventurer who claims to be a warrior of light. Thieves and tricksters, a lot of them. It may not be the most honorable solution, but mayhap you should consider giving Eleazar a counterfeit blade. If the deception brings him peace in his final days, would it be so wrong? Wow, that's rough. What I mean, is she wrong? Eleazar's sword wasn't much to look at, but at least it was authentic. More than a few collectors have been tricked into purchasing counterfeit relics. Jojompa. What's the hot gossip around town? Gossiping about poor people? That's what people in Ul'dah would do. Give us some better gossip. Got any authentic swords for us? I'm afraid I have no knowledge of an ancient sword. At least not of one I can guarantee to be authentic. You see, any wares I determine to be of dubious origins I immediately discard in the spring east of Camp Tribone. Although I have no swords for sale at present, I may have disposed of a facsimile, similar in design to the one you describe. This presents a quandary. Though I am loath to deceive an honorable man like Eleazar, a well-intentioned ruse may put his heart at ease, thus spurring the rejuvenation of his flowing golden locks, whilst we continue to search for the genuine article. Well, if there's a sword in that spring, it won't remain there for long. It's one of the more convenient sources of fresh water for the common folk in Camp Tribone. Tisk, you should endeavor to be more optimistic, Miss Ellie. Like me. I say we search the spring first, before declaring all to be lost. This man really had no time to change clothes, huh? Forgive me, I could contain myself no longer. What kind of fool parades about in an outfit like that? Was he some sort of mummer? Taking note of the outfit too, huh? I guess people just get used to it, maybe. The people around Hildibrand. The people meeting him for the first time, maybe it's not a great first impression. You know, before I started recording, it wasn't this foggy out. It was a nice and sunny morning, and then just as the clock ticked 8 a.m. on the Eorzean clock, boom, foggy weather. I guess it's fine. This is like mysterious weather or something, right? Weather for mystery. This guy's about to die. That's not our problem. I don't have to walk there. But how often do I walk this road? How often does anybody ever go to the Gold Bazaar? There's one time I remember in the main story that you go there. And that's it. Maybe some job quest take you there for a realm reborn? I wouldn't know. Pugilist, maybe? Over here. Alright. When we get off the road itself, we'll hop on our chocobo. Oh, I remember this spring. Isn't this the spring where Thancred once laid out a guy, absolutely destroyed him, morality-wise? With a few words. I remember that. Good times. It occurs to me that I am not yet fully recovered from my accumulated injuries. It would not be prudent to immerse my body in water. Not without first coating it with a liberal application of salamander oil, that is. Indeed, on so many an occasion, my dearest mother tended my childhood scrapes just so. You understand the importance of physical rehabilitation, yes? Then you can assist me by pouring the oil all over my body. Why does this sound familiar to Komori? Rubbing salamander oil into a muscular Huron gentleman. It's almost as if she's done this before. The body is but an instrument in occasional need of oiling. So come, my friend. Come and oil me up. Alright, she was just here to watch. But maybe she'll humor him, just to jog her memory. Why is this so familiar? Ah, this comforting scent, as though I am a child in her arms. Quickly now, before it dries. Knead the oil into my aching flesh. Right here. Nope. Get the angle right, so it actually looks right. That's about it. Ah, the pain multiplies manifold. Gently now. Gently. Something about the muscle structure of this man. It's almost as if there's some genetic similarity to something Komori has rubbed her hands into before. Oh gods, oh gods, oh gods. Yes, at last. My muscles slacken and soften. The warmth spreads, and the pain becomes pleasure. It's on the tip of Komori's tongue. No, she lost it. Right there, yes. Keep doing that, just like that. Just like... yes. Now once more, with feeling. In this midsection, where the exposed skin is. Right there. Do you feel it, Komori? Do you feel it yet? His name was Godbert. Ah, never before have I received such splendid ministrations. Now then, into the spring. You as well, my good woman. Haven't we done enough work already? Well, she should wash her hands after all that. Actually, maybe wash her entire body. I spy with my inspector's eye. You didn't see any of that, did you? She's really, drowning her face there, isn't she? I'm actually surprised that the little side quest for Godbert Manderville in that hot spring section over in Lenosia, the one that gives you this ring here, the one that we've glamoured over right here, the Meteor Survivor ring or whatever. I'm surprised that's not actually part of the Hildibrand quest or like a prerequisite for it. Just a fun little thing that's not even a blue quest, just an orange quest. Blink and you miss it. I didn't even know it existed until I did it on this character. Definitely didn't do it on my main character. You've been productive. Excellent. May I see what you found? A worthless bottle. It's not a sword. A useless rock. What were you expecting? A rock that keeps curls away? Is that some kind of reference, that description? And an irrelevant potsherd. What did you think of my fine detective work? No sign of the sword Jojompa mentioned, I see. Ah. Now I'm all wet. What was that anyway? Did something cause you to... You're a genius, Nashu. Once again, my instincts have guided us to our quarry. That I had you search that section of the spring was a stroke of... Inspector, it's bad for your health to conduct investigations in those clothes. I'll go to Ulda and fetch you some new ones. How thoughtful of you, Nashu. While you're there, purchase a few bottles of hair tonic for Eleazar as well. The newest, most potent blend you can find. Is it not wonderful, my friend? Soon all of Eleazar's woes will be no more. How's the fishing? Ness? From Undertale? We'll fly back there. We already walked down that road once. The weather changes again at 4 p.m. We won't sit around and wait for it, but... Have I ever been here? I guess I was. Yeah, the Invisible City. There was an entire cutscene here. I forget why they call it the Invisible City. More undead there. We're done with that. We're done wondering about the undead. For now. Oh, inside here? Was this Eleazar's house? Kind of awkward if we stole a drink from here last episode. Sorry about all that. I guess this isn't actually Eleazar's house, though. It's this one. Okay. As promised, I return to you your father's ancient blade. Aye, it is her. Every chip and scratch is just as I remember. God's bless you, sir. I never expected you would go to such lengths for two strangers without thought of reward. Altruism is a rare trait these days. 'Tis common enough if you know where to look. A gentleman recognizes the good in every soul, and understands that none deserve to be forsaken. Spoken like a true gentleman, though your garments beg to differ. Inspector, I've brought you your change of clothing. I also brought a supply of tonic from this peddler I met in Pearl Lane. Pearl Lane? That's where Komori used to live. You can't trust anyone in Pearl Lane. Excellent work, Nashu. If you would just bring me that case. He's dead. Inspector? Inspector Hildibrand? There appears to be something lodged in my forehead. Could it be a missive from an adoring admirer? The author neglected to pen her name. I shall come to claim the collector's blade. Is that supposed to be flattering? No, it's supposed to be intimidating. The duelist wrote this. He's daring you to stop him. A challenge? For me? Oh, at last the curtain rises. Very well. If I am to duel the duelist, I must dress for the occasion. I, Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, accept your challenge. He's incredible. So bold, so majestic. Just like a warrior of light. No, a gentleman of light. He is exceptionally something. Core, Inspector Hildibrand, you look amazing. Hildibrand. Who is this shadowy figure? This is far from the strongest of swords. Blue skies and the rolling desert. How much longer must I seek the Blade of Legend? Who is this mysterious man? The biggest mystery of all. Why the hell did they give me 2 bottles of water as a reward? Challenge accepted, my worthy opponent. You shall not claim the blade. With my, let us call it what it is, genius, I shall bring you to justice. Wait, you wish to duel with weapons, not wits? This ridge hardly seems appropriate for such an epic battle. Hey, I know that spear. That's the one I found buried with the pumpkins. Nashu is referring to 1.0. Watch the cutscenes on YouTube, if you want better details. Pumpkins sort of remind me of, No, it's gone. Never mind. The good thing about taking on Hildibrand quests after everything is done is that you can binge them all at once. Who is this mysterious guy? Perchance you're curious about the duelist's declared target? It so happens I have identified the weapon in question. The Treaty Blade is part of an Ishgardian noble's collection, or was, I should say. No, it has not yet been stolen. It has been purchased by an Uldan collector, the wife of a wealthy merchant living in Vesper Bay. Suffice it to say, I would be remiss in my duties as a reporter were I to not investigate her. And should the duelist strike whilst I am present, well, I hope I needn't explain what a golden opportunity that would be. Ingratiating myself to her may prove to be the greatest challenge, though. I'm told she's a difficult woman to please. Fortunately, I'm also told that she has a fondness for rare flowers, the sort Tutusi and Camp Drybone sells. You can come along if you'd like. In for a penny, in for a pound. Tomoe's got time to kill. Everything is so serious back in the Rising Stones after recent events. Stave off the drama with a bit of humor. I had a feeling you couldn't resist the pull of a good story. Since you're here, why don't you choose the Arctic lavender to buy? Here you are, miss. Thank you for your patronage. Was it for love or money that you killed them? Oh, that's probably him. Or not. It was you. Have you gone mad? That was an Amalja arrow in his back. I don't even know how to shoot a bow. Amalja don't shoot fleeing unarmed merchants. They capture and temper them. Not that you or your victim make for convincing merchants. If you're going to misrepresent yourself, put some effort into it. Wear gloves, for God's sake. Or at least don't wave your hands in front of my face. The calluses on your fingers betray you as a veteran archer. Doubtless you used your skills to great effect 5 years ago, as did your partner. So again I ask, was it because he took from you your share, or your sister? You don't touch a man's kin. He knew that, and yet he... Damn, I thought he did it for the money. You two, he's all yours. Yes, of course. Thank you for the help, Inspector. At least he's competent. But when did investigating crimes become such a popular profession? That's a good point. Why are there even inspectors in such a place as Eorzea? It doesn't really feel like that's a common kind of profession. They're not exactly in modern times here. Although, the line does get blurred when you start considering the world at large. Whatever. There are inspectors in Eorzea. It doesn't matter. It's not his job, you know. He just likes doing it. He belongs to one of Ishgard's high houses. Some say he's a baron. Not at all like that buffoon Hildibrand, don't you think? I try not to think about Hildibrand. We should get going. Lady Dorilda will not take kindly to wilted flowers. They're gone. We'll never see them again. Vesper Bay is over here. Goodbye, short stack. Good thing we still have 59 tickets. So is this actually like Dorilda's house? Is that concrete in the lore? They're not just using it for the quest? She's like married to Wilfred or something? Or we're just meeting here? I believe you have something to present to Lady Dorilda. Go on then. Again, as I told the last 20 who came before, if you have come looking for work, you are too late. And even if I were in need of additional security, I would not deign to hire a common adventurer. Now remove yourself from my sight before I have you removed. Did you really think I could be so easily manipulated? Present the right gift, speak the magic words, and you would earn my respect. What is more, a flower's beauty is fleeting. I value beauty which transcends the boundary of time. Everlasting, enduring, unchanging, like mine. Now get out. Forgive us, Lady Dorilda, we meant no disrespect. We were afraid that you would not heed our warnings otherwise. A notorious violent thief is plotting to steal the treaty blade. You fools. I shall come to claim the collector's blade, yes? I read the mitral eye. I know full well of whom you speak, and it is none of your concern. I have a legion of guards at my disposal. Should he try, I will have him seized or worse. And even if by some miracle he should succeed, he will not escape my wrath, for I have retained the services of a certain gentleman. Ah, but you must see for yourself. Like every piece in my collection, he has been chosen with the utmost care. Now look on, my peerless inspector, interlopers, and despair. Oh, I misread that. Now look on, my peerless inspector, interlopers, and despair. Ships that pass in the night, a signal shown in the darkness. The lady cries out for a guardian, and a gentleman must needs oblige. I swear to you here and now, I, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, shall neither slumber nor sleep, until the fiend who covets the treaty blade is brought to justice. My lady, what brings you here? Are you come in pursuit of the duelist as well? Or perchance, in pursuit of me? We're here to watch. As if I would spend a single gil on an insufferable, incompetent... To be fair, you are not spending a single gil on me. The chance to investigate such an intriguing case is payment enough. Preemptive declarations of criminal intent are hardly in vogue. Sorry I'm late. Busy solving a murder. Briardian, consulting inspector. At your service, my lady. Conniving inspector. Consulting inspector. Rotting flesh and saltpeter. Hildibrand Manderville, and Nashumakaraka, I presume. Rotting flesh. I guess he is a zombie then. Two rank amateurs playing at a profession of which they know not. Call me when you've finished with these wastrels. Or is that wastrels? I'm not as smart as you, Briardian. I don't know how to pronounce that. You see, I do not want or need your help. Briardian is more than capable of overseeing the transfer. Now get out, all of you. Where have you been, Maria? And where's my vase? There was this strange flying thing, and the vase. I dropped it in the water. I was so... That vase once belonged to the royal house of Dorn. Do you have any idea how much it was worth? You will go back outside right now and search for my vase, and you are not to return until you find it. Do I make myself clear? Dorilda, it's the middle of the night. You shouldn't send out a child at this time of day. My lady, pray allow me to go in the girl's stead. It is not safe, for she herself spoke of a ferocious wild beast. With my unmatched investigative skills, I shall swiftly locate and recover the missing vase, thereby earning your respect, at which point you will gladly grant me permission to investigate the thieving duelist. Verily, it is a plan fiendishly clever in its intricacies. Not when spoken aloud. Miss Maria, would you be so kind as to tell me exactly what happened? I picked up the vase in Ul'dah, like my mother said, and I was on my way home. I was crossing the bridge, and then the flying thing came. I got scared, so I ran. When I stopped, it was gone, but so was the vase. I think I dropped it in Nofika's wells. I want to go and look, but there were scary looking things down there. I'm scared to go alone. You are no longer alone, Miss Maria. We shall go together and look for the vase. All 5 of us. Me too, huh? All 4 of you. I'm going after Inspector Riordian. If the duelist strikes, I mean to be there. But, Miss Ellie, how can you ignore the plight of a young girl for the sake of a story? Because that's my job, you imbecile. Well, we shall not be derelict in our duty to justice. Come, Nashu, we must away. You don't even know what the bloody vase looks like. Maria, dear, listen. If it gets dangerous, or if you feel afraid, you run to this adventurer for help. Understand? So Darilda just hangs around here, huh? Maybe she does actually live here. Out. Out. I have forthcoming appointments with very prestigious guests, and will suffer your presence no longer. Where is this place? Nofika's Wells. That's a lot of quests. Oh, I see. They're Orionder's special extreme quests for the trials. We unlocked a lot of those through the patches. Right, Novika's Wells. We did some Black Mage stuff down there. Or rather, Thaumaturge. Wait, there's Hildibrand. Let's not miss any dialogue. Eager to get started, eh? Capital. You have my leave to canvass the scene for clues. Mayhap you may even find a witness or two. I kind of wish all of the Hildibrand quests were voiced, just because there's a lot of talking that I have to do. I guess I don't have to, but it would be nice to hear their actual voices rather than making one up. But I guess that would be a huge, huge cost for some side content. That girl what run by earlier, I had seen her. Had something in her hands, but dropped it while crossing the bridge. Didn't get a good look, but I reckon it don't matter any road. Whatever it was, it's long gone by now. You say it was a vase, eh? I hope it wasn't valuable, because it's been swept far downstream by now. You mean she dropped it off of this bridge, down there, into the shallow water? It broke. It had to have. But what do I know? I'm not the inspector. A vase? Well, anything that falls in the water is like to be swept downstream fairly quickly. Does this have anything to do with that queer winged beast I saw earlier? No? Never mind then. If you're looking for something that fell from the bridge, you should consider searching downstream. Now who could this flamboyant oaf be? Kinda different from Final Fantasy VII. More organic, huh? Of course, I knew of him from this game before I knew of him from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And I guess I knew of him before that from, I don't know, just by reputation. Maybe one of the Final Fantasy 13 games. I think 13-2 DLC. Don't actually know the first time I've met him. A pox upon that thieving demon bird. He shall rue the day he crossed paths with me. Huh? A vase? I know not of what you... Gah. Curse this infernal refuse under my foot. Every point is a dagger. There is something in the water at the man's feet. Do the people of this land simply toss their refuse in the river? Every step is agony. There's no way I can pull off Gilgamesh's voice from Reverse. That's like idiosyncratic. You would need a voice actor to do that. Do I spy the treasured vase of Lady Dorilda over... Oh dear. I'm surprised it's in that many pieces. I thought it'd be more shattered. Does this belong to you, child? Forgive me, I was so engrossed in my search that I did not notice. Your search for what, pray tell? The demon bird that absconded with my weapon. I set it down for but a moment, only to see it next in the talons of that accursed creature. I gave chase, following it to the waters, and in my haste I must have stepped upon your vase. Don't fret, Maria. I know it looks bad, but I'm sure Inspector Hildibrand will think of something. Oh, but I already have my faithful assistant. Hearken to me now. For as the rising sun does dispel the dark, so shall my solution resolve our dilemma. But first we must gather as many fragments of the vase as we can find. Sure do wish the sun would rise, so I could have ample lighting for these cutscenes. Why does this feel so familiar? It's almost as if we did this same thing in this very episode, not 20 minutes ago. How could I have been so careless? I think Gilgamesh not only has a different appearance every time, but sometimes has like a different personality and demeanor. Obviously, he's a pretty old character. I don't know how old, like which Final Fantasy he first appeared in. But I think he was always a joke. Green chicken. Come to present your findings, have you? Splendid. Let's have a look. All the Sultan's chocobos and all the Sultan's men couldn't put his vase back together again. Well done, my friend. This should be more than sufficient for our needs. He has performed miracles with far less, after all. Something is brewing on the horizon. Komori senses something. What manner of solution could he have? The vase looks to be beyond all hope to me. Now what could we get from this quest? It looks like an emote. There is but one person in all Eorzea capable of reconstructing this vase. A man whose skill with the hammer has brought rival goldsmiths low. So breathtaking are his works, so fearsome his competitive spirit. This man is no mere goldsmith. You speak of him as one would of a great warrior. Once a notorious gang of thieves perpetrated a series of robberies in Ul'dah, targeting establishments which sold luxury goods. One such shop was owned by the humble lapidary of whom I speak. His was the last shop the thieves struck, for the following morning they were found beaten, bound, and gagged in the gold court. The brass blades never learned who was responsible. The only information they had was the testimony of a thief who kept muttering the words, The hammer. The hammer. He sounds dangerous. Aye, that he does, and I do so enjoy the company of dangerous men. But where are my manners? I have yet to properly introduce myself. I am Gilgamesh, and that is my companion, Enkidu. Well, not really. It has been many moons since I last saw her, so to ease the burden of loneliness, I tamed a rooster and painted it green. Is that safe for the rooster? In any case, you mean to search for this goldsmith, yes? If so, it would be my pleasure to help. The pleasure is all mine, Gilligan. I, Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector, and... Why do I have so much trouble with that? Inspector Extraordinaire. It's the Ector and the Extraordinaire. Those two syllables I somehow stumble on. Inspector Extraordinaire bids you welcome. If it is hard for you to remember, I give you leave to call me Gil. Excellent suggestion, Greg. Playful monikers are an effective means of building camaraderie. Call me Hildy. Now then, from what I know of the goldsmith's propensity to procure his materials himself, I have deduced that he is most likely to be found in the vicinity of Blue Fog in northern Tanalan. It is where we shall begin our search. Everyone's kind of keen to wade waist deep in the water, huh? Including Komoy. I guess that's the least of our worries. If a Doblin became a zombie, would that make it a Zomblin or a Dombie? I think one of those is clearly better sounding than the other. But let's go with Dombie. The Doblin's wounds indicate it was felled with a hammer. A trail of bloody footprints leads to the north. I don't think it's been dead long. Maybe whoever did it is still around. Well, I guess the chicken is loyal. It didn't run away after being painted green. Maybe it likes being green. The goldsmith is not to be trifled with. The basilisk's wounds indicate it was felled with a hammer. A trail of bloody footprints leads to the north. A single blow to the head. Impressive. His handiwork is unmistakable. The corpse is still quite warm. This Doblin, the basilisk, this Orman, the Doblin, the basilisk, this Orman, were all slain with a hammer, as was that beast over yonder, unless I'm mistaken. That chimera must be his latest prize, which means he must still be about. That's some serious hammer work. Mayhap he is watching us even at this very moment, attempting to ascertain our intentions. He was ever a cautious man when on the hunt. Alas, it comes to this. Though every fiber of my being cries out in rebellion, I must break my oath, and do the unspeakable. What must you do? That is so terrible. I must dance. I'm a Manderville man, doing only what a Manderville can. From the peaks of Quartus to Thanalan, Manderville man. I cannot avert mine eyes. That is the dance of House Manderville, passed down from father to son. Were I to perform it within sight of our quarry, he would not be able to resist revealing himself. Alas, I neglected to properly stretch my legs beforehand. My good woman, I see no other solution. You must dance in my stead, though it may be a gross, nay, unconscionable violation of my family's traditions. I must bequeath to you the Manderville. Okay. Komori doesn't know how to dance anyway. Maybe this will be an improvement. After all, where is it? This is what she considers dancing. Perhaps the Manderville would be an improvement. No, let's not add it to the hotbar. Are you really going to do the Manderville? Oh, I can't wait. What manner of man can be summoned only to dance? Now why does this seem so familiar? We are as siblings now, my constant comrade, for I have shared with you the secrets of House Manderville. Now you must use that knowledge. Go to the fallen chimera and dance, like only a Manderville can. I shall maintain my distance for now, but fear not. Should aught go awry, I will fly to your side at once. I'm so relieved. The hammer. I'm surprised they went through the trouble of actually keeping it lodged in the Arverman's skull. Is there one in here too? There is, and there's also one in each head. Such attention to detail. Just out here in the dead of night, dancing to summon a naked man. Fancy yourself a Manderville man? You would do what only a Manderville can? Then lift your legs and put up your hands. Be a Manderville Manderville man. He comes. Ho ho ho. You have naught to fear from me, not at all. The only accounts I came to settle were with the Chimera. That ho ho ho. Could it be a saint of Nemea? But you were not drawn here by some coincidence, were you? No, you came in search of me, Godbert. Why else would you gyrate your hips in such a gentlemanly fashion, if not that? For a lot of people, this would be the first time that they interact with Godbert. We've seen him in the quest at the hot springs, in the Nocia. We've seen his statue in the Manderville Gold Saucer, and we've also seen him as the Saint of Nemea. I think Komoi finally remembers who this guy is. Wait, I know you. She of strong yet tender fingers. Oh wow. I didn't know this questline actually changes if you met him over in the hot spring. I guess chronologically speaking, yeah, that quest would have come out with 2.0. And this quest, or these quest lines, would come out with the patches, so yeah, they would have accounted for that. I'm glad they did. But more importantly, how in the hells did you learn the Manderville? If I did not teach you, then who? There he goes. By the grace of Thal, what sorcery is this? He yet lives. Looking good. Oh, those effects. Hildibrand, Heliodor, Maximilian, Manderville. Such perfect form. His finesse is only outmatched by his power. 10 years, Hildibrand. 10 years since you left home, and 5 since I learned of your trip to Dalamud. How long were you planning to allow your mother and father to suffer under the illusion that their beloved son was dead? Son, you are Hildy's father? Godbert the goldsmith's a Manderville man, smithing as only a Manderville can. Oil him up and give him a tan, fit for a Manderville man. The esteemed owner of the Gold Saucer, the great and powerful goldsmith and holder of a seat on, would you believe it, the Syndicate. I think at that table, in one of the cutscenes way back when, during a story cutscene, there was a tall man of about this size in a cloak. That could very well have been Godbert sitting in on that political meeting. But of course they didn't want to disrupt the seriousness of that scene with his usual attire, or lack thereof. Please, father, cease your undulations at once. There are more pressing matters at hand. This antique vase must be made whole once more, for the sake of Miss Maria. Huh. Do not worry, little one. I deal with worse cases before my morning bowel movement. Please don't say it like that. Hold your applause until the end. Baragot, guard my hammer. Look how it sparkles in the twilight, how it radiates elegance. Would you all not agree that it is a work of art? You've completely destroyed a priceless antique's historical value. Nonsense. I have taken a dull, unremarkable vase and transformed it into something far superior. I hope you were paying attention, Hildy. How long has it been since you last held a hammer? Father, that is not my path. I'm an agent of inquiry, an inspector. It is my duty to help those in need. Miss Maria is one such person. There are others too. Innocent people whose weapons were callously ripped from their hands by a thieving duelist. I thought you put away childish dreams. No matter. You will understand in due time. No, I will not. I am an inspector, Father. I can be naught else. Mr. Godbert, sir. I don't think my mother is going to like what you did. She probably won't let Mr. Hildibrand help with the investigation. We cannot say that for certain, can we? Mayhap she will take a liking to this reimagining. You spoke of a thieving duelist, did you not? It so happens I am something of a duelist myself. Were we to cross paths with this fellow, I would welcome the opportunity to pit my skills against his. Encoder as well, I should think. I see you two possess a strong sense of justice. Full glad am I to have met you, Craig. Now let us return to Vesper Bay and see how our vase is received. Vesper Bay, you say? What a coincidence. I shall be traveling there on business once I have finished gathering materials. Oh, I think I might have seen the demon bird which took my weapon. Go on without me. I shall follow anon. None of that, please. Anyone hanging around? No. I think Omori's sense of reality is beginning to wear thin. While she takes a breather to get her senses back, it would be a good chance to take a break.